Good afternoon, good evening to many of you. It depends on where you're at in the world. I am Amber Kivitz, and I am the leader in health and wellness with Lifepro, certified medical expert in pain management, as well as uh, teaching all of you on how to experience that optimal detox. So that's what we're actually talking about tonight. In my neck of the woods, it is about 7:15 right now. I'm a little late jumping on here just because it takes a lot to get all this stuff out here and ready. But excited to share with you. If you have not been able to catch our detox series that I've been putting on here in the last month, I'm going to kind of emphasize a little bit more on what we've been talking about in that series. And tonight is just talking about the ultimate detox. And it doesn't matter whether it's the evening hours or whether it's first thing in the morning when you get up and get going. But we are going to show you kind of what the optimal detox process is, so that you can truly maximize the opportunities at home and do what makes you feel good. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been talking about the lymphatic system, the 9 signs that your body is in need of a detox. What are the silent stressors that are triggering more and more inflammation and stress hormone? And then the other day, I covered the Big 6 by Dr. Perry Nicholson. I was beyond grateful and humbled to be able to interview with him on his podcast several years ago about how the Lifepro whole body vibration plates are good for not only pain relief, but also for detox, and how they work in our connective tissue, in our fascia, in order to maximize the environment or create the optimal environment for our body to be able to fix itself. And that's where my specialty lies in integrated sports medicine, pain management, holistic Eastern medicine. I'm certified in over 20 different methodologies. And after surviving 8 spinal injuries, a head injury, and fibromyalgia, among other autoimmune conditions that resulted initially in a motor vehicle accident, after being a victim of multiple doctors trying to push lots of pills, 23 pills a day on me, I fired them all and started over. And so I have learned a lot of different things as to what you can do for your body in order to be able to just truly provide the environment in order for it to correct itself, regenerate, restore, just all those wonderful things that our body is truly engineered to doing if we would just get out of the way and let it do it. So tonight, I'm going to put you through a demonstration on the ultimate detox routine, and you can do all of this, or you can do part of it. You can do it in the morning, you can do it in the evening, but I'm going to teach you again a review, since we had some technical difficulties last time with our different channels. And so I didn't have anybody live in that audience when I was covering the demonstration on how to access the Big 6, which are your areas or zones in which our body holds on to a lot of our lymph nodes. Hang tight with me. I've got a visual of what all of those lymph nodes look like. And as you are all observing in, if there's something that you are struggling with at home, or areas that you're really wanting me to dial in on some of this stuff tonight, but I've got pictures of where the lymph nodes are so that you understand as we are going through. I'm going to teach you dry brushing. I'm going to teach you how to prepare your body for that. I'm going to teach you how to prime your body with the Big 6 in order to maximize lymphatic system drainage. So we can, it's one thing if you go to a lymphatic massage therapist or a lymphatic professional who does a lot of mobilization of fluids. It's another if you can do it at home on your own. And so I'm going to teach you what you need to know in order to be able to maximize or optimize the environment for your lymph system to being able to work at the level that it can, because the more junk that we have in our system, the more our system becomes strained and struggles to eliminate. Our lymphatic system is our garbage disposal system. So if you are struggling with seasonal allergies, you've got a recent infection, you're dealing with cancer, you've got an autoimmune condition in which you're dealing with, peripheral neuropathy down at the lower extremity, you're missing lymph nodes, you have I went to homecoming for my university last week. I consumed a few alcoholic beverages. So I want to get that stuff out of me as fast as possible, because the longer it stays in the system, the more it is debilitating. In our neck region, we have lymph nodes that our doctors a lot of times will check in order to see if we are swollen, because a lot of times if we are swollen in our neck region in these lymph nodes, then that means we are likely around the corner from getting sick. So a lot of doctors will check to see if your neck is swollen and to see if these feel like little marbles. We have multiple areas in our face in which we have lymph nodes. We also have a really important series. Each one of those little dots is a lymph node. We have anywhere from 400 to 800 lymph nodes in the entire body, depending on aging, depending on what kind of health situation you've been in. There's a lot of different factors that define how many each one of us has as far as lymph nodes in our system, but they are directly right underneath the skin. So we don't want to be pushing too hard on these areas, just a super light touch. So again, I'm going to take you through that routine. I'm going to show you how to use vibration. I'm going to show you how to use rebounding. I'm going to show you how to use our new Spinergy massage gun so that you can get more out of it with less effort. Dry brushing, a lot of different things. But these lymph nodes right here, if you look or if you go to feel right behind your earlobe here, there's a little hollow spot underneath of that. Okay. Try to think backwards. But I want you to find that little hollow spot. You're going to find a bony area there, or a tougher area. You're going to find a little spot right there, and then you're going to feel a lot of muscle. So the sternocleidomastoid is going to be right in there, and then your carotid artery sits right underneath of that. So we are going to want to make sure that we are working left side of our body, right side of our body, not both at the same time. Why? Because if you compress the carotid artery on both sides, it can cause you to pass out. So don't do that. We don't want that. But anyhow, those lymph nodes are just right under the surface of the skin. And again, there's another visualization. Each one of those green dots is one of those lymph nodes in our lymphatic system. That big red thing right there, that is your sternocleidomastoid muscle. And then we've also got these muscles back here, which are our splenius capitis muscles. Those get really agitated when we are stressed. I talked about the importance of our liver. If you are having a breakdown, whether you have triggered an autoimmune response in which your body is going through the motions of a mild setback, if you've got MS, if you got diabetes, if you got fibromyalgia, if you got there's more than 90 different autoimmune conditions, and there's more that they haven't even named yet. So if you are having, trouble with your immune system, if you are having trouble with autoimmune disease, please remember that your liver is directly involved in that, as well as your diaphragm, okay? I showed this just the other day. Our liver has this ligamentous junction, as well as fascia, that takes tension up higher into the lung region. It takes it into the diaphragm. It brings it down into the kidneys. It brings it down into your pelvis. So if you are having an autoimmune response, whether you have a breakout in your skin, you have stinky sweat, you are running, not feeling as good, bloated, gassy, memory fog. There's all kinds of different things that can lead to symptoms of a toxic system that needs a little extra self-care and love. And so we just have to remember, this is taken from Dr. Perry Nicholson's Stop Chasing Pain website. Again, liver, diaphragm, kidneys, colon, all related. So if your doctor is treating you for a lymphatic response or a detox process, we must be making sure that we are focusing on breathing, that we are focusing on taking care of our liver, that we are focusing on, taking care of our skin, because our skin is our biggest detox organ, and that we are drinking plenty of clear fluids, whether that's bone broth, whether that's water, whether it's electrolytes. Just make sure and remember, when it comes to our body, 5 to 6 liters of blood makes up our body, and our lymph, the fluid that works with our lymphatic system that removes all the crap out of our system, is 15 to 20 liters. That's a lot more than the amount of blood we have. And then, of course, our body as a whole is made up of majority of water. So we want to make sure that we're taking care of that. Again, when we are looking at how the lymphatic system is put together, we have our left lung and our right lung. We've got our liver. We've got our lymphatic duct here. We've got our right and left subclavian veins. And then we've got all of the arteries that bring things down. So if you are clogged in your lymphatic system, your arteries are also involved. Okay, so you just need to make sure. The question about minerals, yes, we absolutely have to make sure that we're getting all of our minerals, that we're getting all of our vitamins, and the American diet really does not allow us to absorb and consume as much as our body needs in order for it to take care of itself. So when we look at how beautiful this lymphatic system is, that web looks like a tree, like veinies. Anything that you see that's green there, that is our lymphatic system, lymphatic ducts. And so it affects all of us. So I wanted to go through tonight. This is a visualization of the lymph duct system along with our lymph nodes. Okay. And so I'm going to show you some different strategies that you can use as a whole in order to work on optimizing that environment for it to be being able to fix itself. When it comes to your liver, I talked about this in our last episode. And if you've missed any of these episodes, all these episodes are available on our Facebook page in Lifepro, not the VIP group. In fact, you might be able to find the VIP group, but we're recording live right now in our actual Lifepro Facebook group. But you will also find these uploaded to our YouTube channel. So if you're missing any of these episodes, I'm doing a complete series of like detox and the lymphatic system, because we're having a lot of people that are sharing their stories about how they're feeling a certain way. And after they use vibration, especially the vibration plates, after they use those for the first time, they feel worse before they feel better. That's good. That means that your body is eliminating or breaking free junk in the trunk that we need to get out, needs out of our system. So it is normal to have a reaction to a lymphatic detox in which you might run a fever. You might feel more congested. You might feel really tired. You might have to go take a really nasty dump or several of them until it's liquefied. Your urine might smell terrible. You might break out in a rash or start to itch. There's a lot of different things that you can experience as a reaction to lymphatic detox. So don't ignore your system. Give it what it needs. And if it means that you have to go a few extra days through this whole detox process in order to come out on the other side, consistency is worth it. You have to be consistent in order to experience the results that you're hoping for, because it doesn't happen overnight. Like, you did not put all this crap in your system overnight. It's not going to leave overnight. Things that hurt your liver, excess alcohol. Just did that over the weekend. But you know what? You only experience the homecoming once a season, once a year. I don't drink very often, don't drink alcohol very often, but I will tell you, I'm guilty. Alcohol is a neurotoxin. It is a poison. There is nothing beneficial, but it is a social environment in which somebody offers you something. Okay, why not? You know, I don't need it in order to have fun, but it was truly a social engagement opportunity, so I had one. But it stays in your body. The molecules of an alcoholic beverage, no matter whether it's whiskey, whether it's hard liquor, whether it's beer, whether it's wine, whether it's a seltzer, it doesn't matter. It stays, the molecules stay in your system for 48 hours minimum per drink, not the effects, but the actual molecules. And as they stay in your body, they actually mutate. And once our liver processes all of that, it converts it into something totally different, which is what they're now calling a neurotoxin, very similar in some ways to formaldehyde. So not good for you. In fact, don't recommend it, even though I'm guilty of it. But you know what? Sometimes we slip, and it's okay if you slip. You just got to get back on track. So I'm going to lead you along that way. Seed oils, corn, soybean, canola oils. No go for your liver. Liver doesn't like it. Processed sugar, refined carbs, chronic medication. So if you're dealing with pain, and if you're taking Advil, Aleve, an NSAID, you're taking Tylenol, on a daily basis or as a habitual user, your liver has to process all of that, which is not good. In fact, it causes liver toxicity as bad as it can cause a fatty liver or cause alcoholism in the liver. So make sure if you are using NSAIDs, which have now been proven to contribute to an autoimmune response. There are a lot of studies that I've learned over the last 2 or 3 years that if you have back pain and you start using Advil, Aleve, Motrin, ibuprofen, any one of those NSAIDs, if you start taking that, back pain goes away, you stop taking it, back pain re-triggers because your brain associates back pain with taking that pill. And if your body is used to taking that pill, then it will trigger a pain response, even though there's nothing wrong. There have been a lot of studies in Europe that have proven that. And I was on those calls a few years ago going over the most recent research studies, clinical studies through the medical schools in Europe, which are not pharmaceutical based, by the way. And they're showing that chronic medication use absolutely destroys the liver. That's how I found out about so many of these holistic methods. Is I was taking 23 pills a day between 7 physicians prescribing. They call it polypharmaceuticals, in which you're just stacking all these different medications for all these different problems, and your body becomes so derailed from what it knows how to do from a homeostatic level. It does not metabolize the same way. It doesn't detox the same way. In fact, I was 1 month away from dialysis when I begged an Asian doctor to take away my headache because I couldn't handle the pain of the headache that I had, which was covering up a head injury. It was covering up brain trauma from this accident. I had no short-term memory. It covered up all that because of the side effects of all these drugs. I'm completely pain-free today. No surgery, no drugs, just movement is medicine, motion is lotion. And I had to go through a detox process very carefully under physician's supervision because 23 pills a day is a lot. And if your body is used to taking all these different pills, and if you don't want to take those pills, then find yourself an integrated medicine practitioner who specializes in the holistic Eastern world and the Western medicine model, in which they're trying to fix the chief complaints, the disease, and finding a more natural way of doing that before you just stop taking medication, because that can be just as bad as taking too much. Plastics and environmental toxins, late night eating, over snacking, and not moving. Moving is one of the greatest things you can do because our body does not have a mechanical pump in order to get things moving up against gravity. And so if you're not moving, then things are lying stagnant. If you have restless leg syndrome, if you have plantar fasciitis, if you have Achilles tendonitis, if you have shin splints, if you have knee pain, if you have knee swelling, if you have groin pain, if you have neck shoulder pain, it's all because of stagnant movement. You're not moving enough. In fact, it is better to smoke than it is to sit several hours a day. I did not tell you to go do that though. But they call sitting the new smoking because it's just as bad, if not worse, than actually smoking. And of course, we know how bad smoking is. Our lymph nodes in our groin are right here along the crease. I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of how to access that, but I'm not going to drop down to where you can see the crease of my inguinal triangle. But our lymph nodes lie right there, and those are super congested area. So be aware of your collarbone. The collarbone is where all of the lymphatic tracts kind of start and merge. This is like the control center. Our sinuses and our lymph nodes back here behind the ear and in the jaw are heavy congestion area. The groin is another heavy congestion area. And then of course, can't fault the stomach or the abdomen area. So I'm going to talk about how to go through this whole process, start to finish. And if you happen to have any questions on what I'm covering, it is a lot of information really quick. And I've got all my notes here that I've been using over the last couple of weeks so that I don't forget anything. Because it's a lot to think about. So I'm excited that you're all here, though. It's so much fun when we get to heal together. So let's talk about dry brushing. First things first. Again, you don't have to do this any specific time of the day. I've got makeup on right now, so I got makeup remover wipes. These are micellar water wipes. So if you have sensitive skin, I love using micellar wipes, no specific brand. But before we do any kind of dry brushing to our face or to our skin. We want to make sure that our skin is dry, and we want to make sure that our cosmetics are removed off of our face. If you are somebody who uses a cream tanner, so in other words, you are wanting to look more tan, bodybuilders, body sculptors, competitors, if you've gone to the tanning bed and you've put on a cream that also turns darker, there's a good chance that you're going to flake that stuff off. So just be aware of that, because again, our skin is our greatest detox organ. And so, if you start to look a little splotchy or you start to look a little patchy, that's okay. We're going to end up with really glowing, smooth, soft, happy skin. So in front of you here, I'm just wiping off whatever makeup I have had on for the day. So you're getting amber in the raw, especially around the neck region, because we want to make sure, again, if we have stuff on our skin, we don't want to be spreading that and pushing it. Yeah, check that out. Lots of makeup. Well, not lots, but enough that we just don't want that to be an issue. So you're going to get to see the splotchy, rosacea, spotty, red, amber, and that's okay, because I love the way I look at 47, and I'm proud of who I am at 47. So you got to love yourself. That'll make you glow even more. So just make sure that you are removing whatever stuff you might have on your skin, because we don't want to be spreading it and driving it into our pores. Not ideal. And as you are doing that, just be aware if you feel any soreness or tension, things are sensitive or a little stuffy, puffy. And again, no rhyme or reason as to how I'm wiping this off, because when I go to do the Big 6 clearing by Dr. Perry Nicholson or the dry brushing, then it's all gonna kind of come together. Now, here's where a lot of you are going to have questions. When it comes to dry brushing versus the Big 6, the Big 6, you absolutely have to go in order. Dry brushing is very opposite from what we do with the Big 6. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the Big 6 first. We're going to use a variety of the different tools that I have behind me. If you don't have a jump track rebounder, if you don't have a vibration plate, if you don't have a massage gun, it's okay. Those of you that have one or the other, just follow along, have some fun with me. And those of you who don't, if you're wanting to get yourself one right now up through Black Friday and the season that's coming through the holidays, it's the best time to get some of these products because they're at rock bottom prices. But I do want to caution you, we sell out of stuff super fast when it comes closer to the holidays. So don't wait for that next big discount to come along, because if you do, and if it's too late, there's no restocking. The closer we get to holidays, it's harder to get this stuff when we need it. So if you don't already have a discount code and you want to use one of our discount codes, feel free to shoot me a text message and I will be happy to send you my exclusive discount code 317-446-7971. And that will get you 20% off the lowest marked price on our specials. Otherwise, if Lifepro sends you a discount code, feel free to use that. Feel free to share it. Most of those codes, are good to go for quite a while. Now, going back to the Big 6, this is our map for how we are going to be using the dry brush brushing strokes, which is very different from the Dr. Perry Nicholson Big 6. So we're going to end with this. So I just want to make sure you know we're ending with this, which is going to be very different from the Big 6. Now, when it comes to the Big 6, again, we're going to start here with the collarbone. I'm going to drop down to as bare as I can get so that you can see how we really do this. The beautiful thing about our new Spinergy massage gun, I mentioned this last week when I demonstrated this. It's a little tap and pat, or pat and tap. And we're going to work left side and then we're going to work right side. And depending on how you're seeing me in the camera, just think left and right, okay? If it appears, what I did the other day was I was actually working on my right side, which actually appears to you to your left side. If I actually do my left side, then it mirrors across to the right side. So just remember, left side is, we have to make sure that we do left side for sure, because 75% of our lymph flows to the left side. 25% gets congested on the right side. On the left side, the lymph that we have that congests 75% of that area also leads to the heart and to the lungs and the diaphragm. So we want to make sure, at all minimum, that we're doing the left side, whichever you consider left. It's your other left, right? Or your other right. Just laughing with you. Don't take this too seriously. Just more importantly, just do it. Okay. So this is our new Spinergy massage gun. Turn it on, and it's pretty cool as to how it works with multiple speeds. We push that power button and speeds go up. And just remember, when it comes to our lymphatic system, everything is just right under the skin. So we're not pushing, we're just floating, okay? We're floating. And so we've got one tip here that's a textured tip. And of course, when we turn that on, like I said, it can be probably more than some of you want it to be, okay? But it is pretty neat how it works. The really cool thing about this massage gun is you can actually use essential oils with it. So if you're wanting to use oregano, which is a natural antibacterial agent for the gut, we also, you can use tea tree oil. Tea tree oil, melaleuca is awesome for skin. But remember, when we go to do dry brushing, we don't want to have anything on our skin. So wait until the end of the night or the end of the day in order to put the oils on. If you like to start your day with oils, totally good with that. But when it comes to dry brushing, you don't want to use oils when you're dry brushing, okay? So again, this comes with several different attachments. Attachment pops off. And if this one is too aggressive for you, then you can choose one of these that's not so aggressive. It just clicks on top there. And then when I go to turn it back on, this is definitely a little more of the softer side. So if you don't like the knobbies, which are really good for the thighs, for the glutes, for the hips, for the shoulder area, I can pop that off and kind of show you how that all works together. But multiple different speeds. And remember, less is better when we are doing detox and when we are opening up to these lymphatic lines, doing lymphatic massage to ourselves. And that's going to be different than if you have a massage therapist doing it because you're thinking about it. But what I want you to do, our 6 zones. Number 1 zone is going to be collarbone. We have a muscle that lies underneath that is ultra sensitive. And so what I want you to do, as I demonstrated the other day, it's a little chilly here in the Midwest, but what I want you to think about is tapping. So we're just tapping, and you just do one side at a time, and you're just going to tap, 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 okay? And you're going to, again, you can work on whichever side you want to. We definitely want to make sure that we get our left side because our left side is what holds 75% of our lymph flow, okay? And we're going to work above our collarbone as well. Make sure we're breathing in. So deep breath in. Blow out nice and long. There we go. But they call the collarbone the drain. The drain. Okay. So let's do the other side. Okay. So we're just going to tap. And it doesn't take much time. Just, 30 seconds to a minute. Or if you just really enjoy the way this feels, go for it. It's only going to take you about 5 minutes to open up all these channels. But it helps to remove any blockages that you have. Okay. Tap above the collarbone. Good, good, good. All right. Now, remember, spirals, circles, rotations. So we tapped and then we circle massage. It doesn't matter when we're clearing these zones, whether you're going towards the heart, away from the heart. We're just trying super light. If I'm working one side of the body, I can truly cross over. It doesn't matter how you do it. If we're using the massage gun, just run it over back and forth, just nice and light. Nice and light. Okay. Feels really, really good, actually. Right? If you're wanting to stimulate your vagus nerve, take your tongue, push it to the top of the roof of your mouth, and just press as you breathe. Okay. Just breathing. Now, this above the collarbone does not feel very good. So if you just want to stay below the collarbone, that's awesome. But it is working in a circular pattern, in a spiral pattern. If you want to go more intensity, just jack that up to speed of 4. You can do that too. But again, we're not pressing, we're just floating. Just let it float. Super light, super easy. Again, when we get into the bony areas, it can be a little more sensitive. So if it starts bouncing on you, just err to the side of more comfort. We don't want to cause any discomfort or any pain with this. Okay, but just working side to side. Okay, number 2 zone. We're not going to use the Spinergy in this area because number 2 zone is right here behind the ear in this little groove. Your TMJ right here, our masseter muscle jaw. Okay, we have a little indentation right here. And so all I want you to do is just take your fingers, split the difference, and just go up and down. Feels really good. You can work in circles. And you can do this both sides at the same time because we are not deep into the carotid area. But if you just want to work one side just to feel safe about it, that's okay. But just gliding up and down, this is one of the fastest ways to calm the anxiety area. If you have children who have a lot of anxiety, this is a great way to calm their nerves, calm their fight or flight sympathetic nervous system down. Okay. Now, when we get here right under the earlobe, there's a little spot there. It's almost like a hollow. You're just going to little circles, follow the muscle. And again, we're right on top of the skin. We're not going deep, just right on top of the skin. If you want to open up your mouth so you can get in there a little deeper, this is at C1, C2 of the cervical spine. And we're going to do both sides. So make sure that you're doing both sides. Feel free to open that jaw. Good. Okay, working in little circles, little C's if you really want to. Give yourself a little patty pat, little pat and tap, little tap and pat. Okay, if we end up with a respiratory infection or end up with pneumonia, what do? They tell you to tap the rib cage because it breaks the gunk loose out of the lungs. Our lymphatic system is a very, very similar way. So don't hesitate to pat and tap, tap and pat. Okay, next area. Zone number 3, pectoral zone, shoulders, armpit. Okay, so this is a good one for the Spinergy gun. But just take your hand, little circles in the pectoral region. Our pec minor muscle lies directly underneath the pec major. It's a very sensitive muscle, and it's a real angry muscle. When we do too much of this, it starts to get really short and it attaches right in here, and it's the cause of a lot of neck pain as well as a lot of low back pain. So you're gonna, if you have your Spinergy massage gun, you're just gonna work, and you can see how I'm just letting it float, but you're probably gonna see I'm actually gonna get some redness going on. That's quite all right because we are mobilizing that stuff. If I work on bodybuilders or if I work on body sculptors, based on freeing some of this stuff out of here, you can actually change their muscle tone and their lean body mass in that area. So actually you can make them appear different by just eliminating some of the extra stuff in here, the gunk from so much hypertrophy, because you have to micro tear the muscle in order to hypertrophy. So, and if you don't want to go directly to the skin, you can just work on the outside of the skin. But again, we're going to work into the region here on top of the shoulder. I'm not pushing, just letting it float. And if I want to go up a couple notches, the shoulder can handle that kind of intensity. But again, it is, they call it a Spinergy for a reason. So I'm just working into the shoulder region, get into the armpit. Any massage gun can be used. The Spinergy sold out pretty quick. They're trying to restock those. So if you want to put that on your Christmas list, it is an awesome massage gun that we just released. I like, really any of our massage guns will work fine. You just need what we call tapping or percussion, which is just tappity, tappity, tap. So I'm starting to itch. That means we're releasing some stuff. This is good, right? Yes. Woo, yeah, itchy, itchy. So same thing on the other side. What we do on one side, we'll do on the other. And I'm just going to stretch out my arm in order to maximize this. You can go over your clothes. If you don't want to go directly to the skin, you don't have to. You can go directly over your clothes. But just remember, I'm not pushing. I am just letting things float. Same thing with your massage gun at home. whether it is one of our competitor massage guns or whether it's something you bought at Walmart or you got it from a discount store or somebody gifted it to you, it doesn't matter. The tapping of the massage gun or the vibration of the massage gun is what frees all this gunk up so that you can mobilize it and clear out those zones. So clearing out into the shoulder region here and into the armpit. Okay, so armpit is a heavy area of congestion. If you have had any form of cancer, most of the time they'll remove those lymph nodes. So you just work with what you got. Okay, that's all the time we have to do on that one. Now, the next one is our stomach region, okay? Abdominal region, the way that we're going to do dry brushing is we're actually going to be working in a clockwise fashion. But when it comes to our abdomen region, when we're trying to clear that lymphatic zone, just you can start with just taps, or you can just work in circles and spirals. It doesn't matter. I have had several abdominal surgeries, not for vanity, but because of childbearing, lost a child, infertility, all that good stuff. And so I have a lot of scars through here, and scars are an area of heavy accumulation. I'm proud of these scars. It means it's part of my journey, part of my process. But we're just working on getting up and into these regions. So belly button, sternum, halfway in between, okay? That's where your liver lies. So you can work in almost like an infinity sign. But we're just working nice and easy spirals and circles, okay? And you can go one direction or the other. Feel free to get the backside as well, okay? Now, this is what's cool about this, is if you decide you want to use this as well, you can. We're just floating. And you can see how the texture of my skin, this takes a lot of guts to show my flubber on camera, which is totally fine because I've earned it. Not worth the tummy tuck. I actually looked into tummy tucks, but because of the scar, and I treat scars for pain all the time, it is so not worth the scar. But those of you, if you've had them, all the power to you. The Spinergy and the lymphatic system detox process, all of these demos will help with that scarring process and releasing stuff underneath the surface. But this is good stuff. So now I'm going to stand up for you so you can really see what's happening here. Okay, and so again, just working in spirals and circles. And because the Spinergy works in a circular pattern, I'm just working around and around and around. And that's going to move the blockages where those lymph nodes all like to collect. All right. Now, what I want you to do is, here with me now, we're going to do about 25 to 50 taps all at once, okay? Just 25 to 50 taps. This is stimulating the vagus nerve, which allows our system to recharge and restore. So tappity tap. It's a really good energy booster too, first thing in the morning. If you watch athletes, they slap themselves, tap themselves. Really, really good. All right, we got 25 to 50. Now I'm really itchy. Okay, now here we go. So inguinal region is so our groin crease. So if I were to put my foot up, there is a crease right here. All I want you to do is just take your hand and just work in some circles, nice and light. There's a lot of pressure points in here, nice and light. Okay, but this is where we get a lot of blockages. This is a big blood flow spot because of our femoral artery that comes down. So we do want to make sure that it's clearing. You can go standing out wide, okay? And you can work both sides at the same time. Just don't push hard because we don't want to put a block right there where that femoral artery comes down. Just nice and easy. Again, if you want to use the Spinergy, you can do that. And you can do it over your clothes. You don't have to do it directly to. You can do it too, directly to your skin if you want to. But this tissue right here on the inner thigh is ultra sensitive for most everybody. I work on a lot of these areas on a daily basis, professionally speaking. So if you have challenges in those regions, just be gentle because the inner thighs are super, super sensitive. That skin is really sensitive, really fragile. There's a lot of lymph nodes that carry blockages there. So there we go. So we got a little tap, a little spin, some circles and some spirals. Life feeling much, much better. Okay, last but not least is going to be our popliteal. That is right here behind the knee, okay? And so slaps and taps. This is known as the back point pain in Eastern medicine or traditional Chinese medicine, because you can use acupressure or you can have acupuncture done to bladder 40, which I do with my clients, and it will relieve low back pain, okay? So give some taps behind that knee. If you want to use the Spinergy, very gentle, because it's a very sensitive spot. And again, we're just floating, We're not pushing back here. We're just floating, and that is right behind the knee. It doesn't take much effort. Okay, so again, on the back side of the knee, give us some taps and pats. Good, good, good. If you want to use your massage gun on a low setting, just nice and easy. Nice and slow. No pressure, just nice and slow. Okay, so here's what's cool. We just cleared all those areas. If you want to come back up here to the collarbone just to make sure that that highway is ready to go, give yourself some taps and pats. And then I'm going to take you to the vibration board, okay? And we're just going to do a real easy, relaxing vibe work, not even a workout. I'm just gonna stand on it and let it jiggle, 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 because jiggle just feels good. You can choose whatever program you want. It doesn't matter which program you want, whatever works for you. I personally, on the Relax It Vibe, which is part of our Rumble X series, I really enjoy using the P2 program. I don't do anything fancy on it. I don't worry about doing a workout. I just stand on it. You can sit on it. Whatever works best for you, but it's great for clearing out all this lymph and getting digestion maximizing. So let's see if I can. I'm actually in my home tonight, and my home is much smaller than my facility that you're used to seeing me at. So bear with me so that you can see all of me. There we go. There we go. Now we might be able to get all of me on there. Well, kind of. This is always fun trying to figure these angles and these dynamics out. Now, one other thing that I want you to know. If you decide that you really love how that Spinergy massage gun feels, then by all means, keep using it while you're on the vibration plate, whichever one you might have. You can do both at the same time. So I'm going to stand on here. I'm going to choose the P2 program. And it's only 10 minutes. So if you want to hit up some of these other areas at the same time that you're doing the vibe, you can totally do that. Just clearing out all these areas. But just remember to go in order. So collarbone, then behind the neck, down into the pec region, in the abdomen. You just want to make sure you go in order at least once. Or if you are just exhausted for the day and you just want to relax and enjoy the ride, then by all means, just enjoy and relax on the ride. So here we go. So just breathe. Remember, when we're breathing in through our nose with our tongue pushing into the roof of our mouth, blowing out very long. Deep breath in. Blow out long. That's it. Breathe in. Blow out nice and long. Vibration naturally breaks free. Adhesions, connective tissue, stickiness, if you will. It'll break loose scars in a good way. And usually between those layers, there's other gunk that needs to go with it. So don't hesitate to get on and go for a ride first thing in the morning. I tell my clients, we curl inward when we sleep. So we want to make sure that we are opening up our body for it to being able to powering up, push button start. This is your jumper cables first thing in the morning when the car doesn't want to get started. Get this vehicle going. I'm just moving side to side because it just feels really good. So whatever feels good on you, run with it. Because that's what matters, is what feels good. Keep going with what you're doing. I'm going to change my lighting so that you can actually see me. I'll tell you what, we have a new red light therapy device. It's a light that also works for reading, and it is a bright light. I don't have it here. I have it at my gym. I'll have to get it back here at my house because it has red light therapy. So I can have it sitting behind the couch, and I can be sitting watching a movie or just reading or doing whatever, and the red light therapy can cast out over my skin, and I can experience multiple modalities at once. So just flowing nice and slow, just feeling good. For me personally, I like to end my day down into a deep squat. This feels really good for me. I know most of you are probably laughing right now. You're thinking there's no way I can squat that low. That's okay. And if you're one of those that you need to be sitting on the couch with your legs elevated, this is another form of shaky. And although my hips are lower, I'm still getting really good motion through my legs. We just don't want to put any pressure on our hips or on our back. So I'm getting a lot of this in my lower legs and feeling really good in my thighs. There's no knee pain. So if this works for you and you're able to shake free, then by all means, you do what works best for you. But I personally like to end my day in this really deep squat. It feels really good. I work with my hands a lot. So if I want to put one hand down and just relax, this feels good too. It shakes. If you got carpal tunnel syndrome, it'll help break free some of the inflammation in your arm and your wrist. But there's no official way that you have to be able to enjoy vibration, because all of it helps. So it doesn't matter what level you're on. It doesn't matter what frequency or what intensity. Just get on the plate and go for a ride and enjoy the ride. This is relaxing. Yeah, so if you guys have questions, keep sharing in the comments here. And yes, I know that I've got, sitting can block lymphatic. Yes, it can. But if you are dealing with post-op and you can't load or you can't stand, you're way better off sitting and allowing the flow to work through whatever parts you can have access to than doing nothing at all. So not everybody, if you are in a wheelchair, you're better off if you can't get out of the wheelchair because you have to have somebody assist you. You're better off getting your feet on one of these. I'm starting to itch like crazy. This is good. It's better for you to have your feet at least elevated on it to some extent, because the second heart in the human body is the calf muscle. And when we sit long periods of time, or if you're in a wheelchair or you're driving long hours on the road, your second heart doesn't pump as much. So there's a lot of stagnant fluid and lymph down here in the lower leg. You got to get that out of there, or you're going to end up with restless leg syndrome. That's where the blood clots settle in. That's where deep vein thrombosis takes place. Most people, if you have spider or varicose veins, it is truly like that extra compression that can lead to that. And then what do we do to help with it? We actually add more compression, as crazy as that sounds. So, yeah, this feels really good. Good stuff. I don't know about you. It's been a very long day. But you can do this lymphatic opening, this lymphatic preparation in the morning. You can do it in the middle day for an extra jump start when you're hitting the wall. If you're going for that cup of coffee or that caffeinated drink at 3 p.m. in the afternoon and you need an extra energy boost, get on and go for a ride. And you can be on the vibration plate and you can actually clear those 6 zones. Collarbone, behind the ear, along the neck, little patty pat goes a long way. Pec region, shoulder, armpit is number 3. Abdomen, number 4. So if you are trying to clear more stuff and you're chronically constipated or IBS and you just want a movement, get on the vibration plate and give it a patty, patty, pat. Just patty, 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 pat. They used to do this back in the 1800s. It's great, great research that supports this. Good, good, good. And then you can be massaging very light your groin, the crease of your pants. You can be massaging that in whatever way you want to. Spirals and circles goes a long way. You can also do a little patty pat. And then the other zone is behind the knees, the popliteal area. Those are the 6. And at the same time that we're doing all this, we're also stimulating our vagus nerve, which controls whether we are in fight or flight, go, 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 hormones and inflammation go up, or whether we are in restoration, recovery, digestion, relaxation, which hormones come down. I got 2.5 minutes left. So hang tight with me, because as soon as we break free all the gunk, then we're going to move it through motion. You can march in place. I'm going to demonstrate it on the Rebounder. I have really low ceilings. I got a ceiling fan. So I'm going to adjust and adapt my room to the needs so I don't bonk my noggin. But you can do this stuff really about anywhere. But once we break this stuff free, we have to get it pumping back upstream. And then after the end of the day, when you're ready to take a shower before you go to bed, that's when you want to dry brush. You can get red light therapy, you can get in the sauna, you can get in the hot tub, you can, whatever you want to do, but make sure that your skin is dry before you do dry brushing. And then once you do your dry brushing routine, then you're going to go in and rinse off in order to get those dead skin cells off. So benefits of dry brushing. It stimulates the lymphatic system. So we're already doing stimulation through clearing the big 6. It exfoliates your skin of any dead skin cells, which blocks things from being able to leave and good things coming in. It also improves skin elasticity. So if you are on this roller coaster ride of weight loss and you have a lot of extra skin, it helps to tighten that up by clearing away all the stuff beneath the surface. But it also it encourages cellular renewal. Our body is always regenerating and creating new cells, which creates a glowing complexion, makes us look very happy. If we are having trouble with digestion, if we're having issues with our kidneys, because our kidneys are the host of our adrenal glands, which is where our stress hormones lie. So if we are helping with dry brushing and supporting digestion, it also aids in our body detoxing and improving overall immune function. But we are also enhancing energy, because I don't know about you, but this right here, this is like wake up. But it can also be, you can do really, really light, or you can use your massage gun, which brings you back down. For those of you who might have some dimply skin, okay, if you have some dimply skin, it's not necessarily going to eliminate cellulite, but it's going to help with the appearance, because true cellulite isn't cellulite. It's fascial adhesions. It's connective tissue beneath the surface that is just really stuck together through scarring. But it also enhances circulation, oxygenated red blood cells, life gets better, and then evening out our skin tone. So if we have skin imperfections, it helps with all of that. If you're having an allergic skin reaction, keep going. I'm telling you right now, if you feel like your skin is itchy, that's good. It doesn't mean that you're having an allergic reaction to vibration. It means your body is breaking through the stuff, and your brain is recognizing it as a histamine response to invaders, because when our stuff is broken free out of storage, it is mutated, so the brain doesn't see it the same way going in as what it is coming out, or doesn't recognize it the same coming out as it was going in. So stay on there as long as you can tolerate, because I promise you, once you get off, you're not going to be really itchy for a period of time. You're just going to be itchy for a few minutes. And then once you remove the stimulus, then the body's like, wait a second, okay, now we're good. So I I really love being on the vibration board until I feel itchy. Once I feel itchy, that's what makes me feel good. Even with eczema. Eczema is those patchy, scaly, thick, extra cells that just layer that you. I had eczema as a kid. I had to put the steroid cream on. I had to peel off the flaky dead skin. I had to scrub like right. My arms, I had keratosis pilaris when I was in my 30s and 40s. Skin is now clear. I don't have chicken skin anymore. So yeah, if you're having a reaction, eczema is an autoimmune response. It is an allergic reaction, or it is basically your body is having a reaction to extra toxins in the skin. And a lot of eczema results because of something in our body is not liking our body, or our body's not liking something that we're putting in it, whether it's an allergen, whether it's something that we're sensitive to, food, creams, detergent. There's something invading our natural environment, and our body comes back with what is referred to as eczema, but it's actually an autoimmune response specifically to the skin. I have the same situation going on inside my mouth. It is a skin condition called lichen planus, but in the mouth they call it oral lichen planus, which attacks the mucous membranes. And your mouth is a replica of what the lining is in your gut. So I'm dealing with trying to balance all of that out, because our body, again, it has the ability to fix itself, to heal itself if we would just get out of the way. But it gets really confused the more stressed we are, emotionally stressed, environmental stress, stuff on our skin, stuff that we're eating. Too much exercise can be really a problem versus not enough. But again, movement is medicine, as motion is lotion. So you want to continue to move. Perfect with somebody with Parkinson's, because again, Parkinson's, it's another autoimmune condition. So, if you have Parkinson's, you have a compromised lymphatic system. You've got to do everything you possibly can to clear it because the body, you can get blood transfusions, you can go and get the treatments, you can get the infusion therapy. But if your lymphatic system, you can keep the heart pumping, you can keep the brain stimulated. Once you become septic or sepsis sets in, you only have so much time to clear out the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system truly is the system that if we don't take care of it, we die. So we can keep the blood going, we can keep the heart beating, we can keep the brain stimulated and keep it awake using all these different types of medical technology. But if our lymphatic system cannot eliminate the stuff that's causing our body to react the way that it does, you're pretty much dead. So it's good. The lymphatic system is good to shake up for anybody. If you've had COVID, especially the long-term COVID symptoms, what do? They put you on a vibrating hospital bed and they rotate you side to side. Why are they doing that? Because, and especially another one, if you've been induced into labor, or you are high risk labor, they're going to keep you on your left side. Why? Because 75% of our lymph flows to the left side, and it's an easy way to keep the body from overreacting from the stress. So that table vibrates and rotates back and forth, which shakes stuff out of the body. It keeps fluid in motion. With pneumonia, what happens? They tell you to pat and to breathe in and out, because we have to keep things from settling. Once things settle, then we become more problematic. So we don't want things to naturally settle if we have a lot of extra stuff in our system that we don't want in our system. So now we gotta get this stuff moving, because I've been talking too long. And my lights are not cooperating. There we go. I got a light bulb that just does not want to cooperate. I'm a little on the cold side, so I'm going to put my jacket back on, and I'm going to set up my room for the rebounder, because this is really simple, guys, as to how you use the rebounder. This is one of my favorite toys. I used to use rebounders all the time in the fitness world. Got away from it because there's just so many other gadgets that are out there. And then lo and behold, Lifepro comes along and creates a new rebounder, and then I'm back into it. So love, love, love rebounding. Okay. So there's my lovely living room, and I have a light bulb that just does not want to cooperate. Hang tight for me here. This is the joy of dealing with lights. See if we can get that to work. Okay, so you will find, if you happen to have one of our jump track rebounders, I put this in the back of my vehicle, which is, I didn't want to have to fold it into a quarter. So I took off all the legs like that, took them all off and screwed them back on when I got here. But I also took the support bar off, which has the jump counter. I don't enjoy having that extra handle in my space, so I didn't put it back on because it's just easier to not have it on. So for safety reasons, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm telling you to be careful and use your support bar. Okay. So what do we need to do? We need to move a little bit. Yes, Brenda, it came out. What should you do when you get off the plate? Okay, when you get off the plate, you can just march in place. You can tap. Hey, how about we dance? Isn't dancing fun? I don't know about you guys, but I love to dance. So you just need to stay moving somehow because movement is what gets all that stuff out of there. So on the rebounder, all I want you to do is if you just want to tap, if you don't have a rebounder, just do it right there in your space. You can wear shoes if you want to wear shoes, whatever you do to feel safe. But we're just I call it step touch. But if you're on a rebounder, make sure and stay in the center of the jump track pad. Okay. And then if you don't want to go side to side, then just little bounces. You don't have to clear. Just little bounces go a long way. We just want to get these legs pumping because the pumping is what removes all the stuff. Okay, so it's good stuff. So there's no special way of doing this. We just want to make sure that we're continuing to move for about 5 minutes is really all we need to do. We have freed a bunch of stuff in our body. Now we got to keep mobilizing it. Good stuff. Keep doing that. I'm going to adjust here. I'm looking to see what everybody's comments are. It is so good to see all you here tonight. I've missed you guys. Again, just nice and easy movements. If you just want to reach down and do some squats. I love the rebounder because it softens the joints. The body feels good with the joints feel good. It's like, and it's fun. It's really fun. So again, use your safety bar if you have it installed. Don't worry about uninstalling it. I just did it to make it easier to putting it in the trunk of my car. And all you got to do in order to put this in the trunk of your car is just remove the legs. If you're doing it all the time, make sure that you lubricate your legs with a silicone or with like a WD-40. It helps in getting them on and off really quick. But that's it. That's just it. Now, here's all I want you to do is just roll those shoulders. You can do patty pats. You can even use your massage gun at the same time if you really want to. Okay, now that's enough movement in order to get things going. So let's talk about dry brushing. Again, I've got this map. I'm going to hold this up really close. This is your direction of skin brushing strokes. You're going to see those green dots. Those green dots are the lymph nodes. So we are brushing our strokes towards the lymph nodes, okay? Towards the lymph nodes. The dry brush. I've had this for several years. When I bought my sauna about 6-7 years ago, actually it's been longer than that. It's been almost 10 actually. I bought dry brushes because I wanted to do it in my sauna. And this is how a lot of times we start a massage, because if you're going to mobilize fluid and if you're going to therapeutically work on people to make them feel good, then it's always good if you can prepare the skin properly. But this is a natural bristle brush. You want something very, very soft, okay? Something very soft. This is made, it says it's Essential Living. I have no idea where I got it. I've had it for a long time. But it's pretty nifty because it has a stick. So we can use this on your back in order to move things along if you really want to. So I'm going to take you all back over here where you can see me a little better up and close. The lighting is a little bit better. I'm not in my facility today, and the lighting can be a bit tricky, and I don't have my new light that Lifepro came out with. It's a really, really cool light too. But anyhow, we've got our Synergy massage gun. Okay, now here's what I want you to remember. We don't want to use our dry brush around broken skin or irritated skin. So if you have acne on your face, I had pitted acne for a long time. You don't want to use it over broken skin or skin that is really irritated. Sunburn skin is considered one of those. I'm going to unzip here again. On the face, we're working from the center out. And the more fragile the area, the lighter the touch. So we just want to quick sweeping strokes. Okay. Think about making a heart. Okay. Just making a heart. And it shouldn't hurt. It actually is very stimulating. It's like almost, it's relaxing and soothing, but we don't want it to be painful. We don't want it to be uncomfortable. You can work down the nose. We're working from the center out because where are the lymph nodes? They're back here and down in here. Okay. So working from the nose out and then down angle. Okay. So all together, heart the other way. And notice how when I go down through here, we're not wanting to drive stuff in. We want to take it away. Okay, I developed a swelling, not painful in my lower gum since the vibration plate. Could this be from a detox? I'm going through very similar. I might go through a light swelling inflammatory process for 24, 48 hours. That rebounding effect or that reaction can happen for up to 72 hours. Keep pushing forward as long as you feel safe trying that. I also have gum inflammation, but I don't have periodontal disease. I don't have implants. I don't have missing teeth. I don't have cavities. Our gums are truly a representation of what our gut microbiome, our biofilm is. So if you happen to have a reaction, oh, it's so soft. If you happen to have a reaction to your gums while you're on the vibration, I'm telling you right now, vibration will not cause a lot of these problems. It is our body breaking free of stuff. So don't be afraid of that. But if you need to slow back and take off a few days before you ramp back up, you do what you need to do in order to adjust. But for me, consistency is key. So back to the face, we're going heart-shaped if you want to. Cross the sinuses and this is super light, guys. This is not heavy. I'm not pushing. I'm not giving myself, you're going to see how I'm getting a little red because I've got very sensitive skin. I've got rosacea. But it's just nice and easy. Okay. When we get here to our neck region, remember those lymph nodes are back here behind and down here. According to dry brushing directions, you're supposed to start with your feet first and work your way up and then work from your fingers in up to the shoulder. I'm working from my neck down to the collarbone. Why? Because the collarbone, remember, is the drain. This is where all the crap accumulates. So I'm going to start up top and work my way to the collarbone. And then I'm going to go from my feet and work my way back up. Okay. So if you want to go from the feet all the way through, by all means, you do whatever works best for you. But these are just smooth, soft, nice and easy. If you go on vacation and you have somebody do a spa treatment like a massage on you, a lot of them will dry brush you first. But yeah, and we have other lymph nodes on the backside. So feel free to brush away from the center towards the side of the neck. Again, back from the center down to the angle. Okay. Now, working from our hands up and also working from our feet up. Okay. So I'm going to put this in a different location so that you can see full view, because this is where this can get really tricky in order to demonstrate everything to everybody, but trying to make sense of it all with y'all. Okay, here we go. So gonna take that off, and I'm just gonna put myself a step stool up here. Actually, I'm gonna put that back on because I am really cold. It is cold here in the Midwest. I think my room temperature is like 67 degrees. Optimal sleep temperature, 68 degrees. So keep your room at optimal sleep temperature wherever it is that you sleep. Keep it nice and cool so your hormones and your body can relax. So don't hesitate to put a leg up in order to get what you need to get done. I'm going to adjust our camera angle here so you can see everything. Okay, so we're just nice and easy. Just a few smooth strokes, nice and easy. It should not be painful. It should be really quite stimulating and a feel-good kind of factor. Okay, and we're going over all these areas several times. Remember, second heart right there. So let's make sure we're getting that second heart happy. And remember, major lymphatic zone right here behind the knee. So make sure that we're brushing into it, okay? We're not going back and forth though. We're brushing same stroke, one direction, up towards our body, up towards our heart. And everything is dry. Don't have any lotion, no oils, nothing. We don't want that. We want to remove dead skin cells. Okay, nice and easy, moving our way up. Long strokes towards lymphatic system is what we're up for. Long, smooth strokes. I have very veiny legs. These are not bruises. Those are spider veins that I've had. I'm 47 and I've had these for a good 20 years. So I'm not going to lose sleep over it. That's just the way it is. Aging younger and feeling younger as I get older, as the years roll forward. Secret to being happy within self. We all have imperfections, but just remember we are all flawsome. Even flaws and all, we are awesome. We're all worthy of having greatness. Okay, remember, lymph nodes right here across the groin. Okay, so I'm going to go leg up, working in towards groin area. Outer thigh, circle across. Okay, now in the areas of our outer thigh, booty region, thighs, you can go a little harder because that skin is technically thicker, but when we go inner thighs, go nice and easy because those areas are super, super sensitive. Super sensitive. Okay, now we're going to switch it up, going to the other foot. Okay, working the top of the foot. Nice, long strokes, swift. If you want to go slow because it just feels better, all power to you. You do what works best for you. If you like how it feels because you're in control, you're more likely to stick with it. So stick with it. It's all feel good. Nice and easy. Going right through the top of the knee. We tend to accumulate a lot of stuff over the knee. Remember, gentle through behind the knee because that's where our lymph nodes are located. And then work your way up through thigh. Nice and easy. As we get to our booty, going a little harder. Work into the inner groin. Spiraling up and around. Okay, so now we have our abdominal region and we have lymph nodes here. We also have lots of accumulation here. So 2 options. We can brush up towards our heart, or we can brush down towards our femoral lymph nodes, okay? A lot of what I have learned through the years, you can do brushing down. When you get into the belly button region, now we're going to go in more of a clockwise circular position. So again, a couple of options. We can stroke down on an angle towards our lymph nodes, okay, bringing it around, or we can work clockwise, super light. Remember, these tissues are super sensitive. So super light through here. Nice fluid strokes. Body loves circles, spirals, right? And then because we have more lymph nodes up here in our chest and our axilla region, we can stroke upward, okay? Upward through here, downward up top. So we're trying to flush everything towards the heart region and through here, because there's a lot of regulation here. Again, clockwise formation around the tummy region. And then when we get into our back, if you happen to have one of these adjustable brushes with a handle, when it comes to our back, we're going to go up, okay? So we're going to brush upward. If you can reach all of that. Again, I'm doing this to the outside because I'll do this with myself right before getting into the shower. So obviously I'm not going to strip naked for all of you tonight. But you get the idea. So we're going upward. Okay. So we have done our dry brushing. Now, the best thing to do, take a shower, sit in the sauna, take a hot bath, get yourself some oils, some relaxing music. Do not take that glass of wine in there. There's one other thing I wanted to share with you. Before you go to bed, before you lay down, if you are not familiar with castor oil packs, you can buy castor oil with a pump, and they make these disposable patches, okay? Castor oil is an awesome detox, especially for the liver, and castor oil is really good for the body. So when you lay down at night, before you go to bed, these little castor oil packs, I'll show them to you. These are disposable, and they're made specifically for the belly button. But you're going to peel the sticky off. Do a quickie demo here for you. The castor oil has the little pump. So you're going to put a little dose of castor oil on there. And then from there, if you put castor oil directly on clothing, it can stain. But then you're just going to go right there inside the belly button, and you're going to sleep with that on. And the castor oil enters your body through your skin and through the belly button area, and really, really good for strengthening, enhancing liver function, helps with liver recovery, repair. Do you know that your liver can regenerate itself? If you lose like a third of your liver because of liver abscess or because of some kind of liver dysfunction, they can remove part of your liver and you can create a whole new liver in a year's time. It's incredible when you think about how magical the human body really is. So, but I got these on Amazon, and they're disposable. There's, let's see here. There are, I think, 50 in a box, but yeah, I want to say it's like $10 for 50 of those disposables. Almost works like a Band-Aid. But if you pump and dump a little bit in your belly button and sleep with that, you can also apply a heat pad. Red light therapy works really well if you're wanting to use red light therapy. In addition to that, when you lay down at night, you can do that too. Just don't put castor oil directly on red light therapy. You want to have some kind of a cover over it so that you don't get the solution on the red light therapy product. So that's optimal detox, my friends. You can take a little bit. You can take all of it. You can do a little dose of it tonight. You can do a little dose of it tomorrow. You can mix and match it up. You can do all of it. If you take Amber's talking out and we just go start to finish through all of it, it might take you 15 or 20 minutes in the morning or in the evening for your body to push the reset button. And for longevity of health, decreased mortality rates, better quality of life, it is worth 20 minutes to invest in yourself for your 24-hour day. Remember, we all have 24 hours a day, and how you use it is how you end up. And so whether it is using, we typically sleep 8 hours a day, or we should be sleeping 8 hours a day. Most of us are working 8 hours a day, and then the other 8 hours a day, we're making food, or we're spending time with our families, or we're running errands, or we're taking care of our kiddos, or we're rolling around the ground with our grandbabies, whatever it is you do, how you use your 24 hours is how your body finishes up. So 20 minutes, to do that little detox routine there for a 24-hour time frame is a huge investment on creating the optimal environment for your body to be able to heal, repair, regenerate, and restore its natural environment the way that it knows how to function. And it allows us to continue to indulge in things we probably shouldn't indulge as heavily in as we do, whether that is chemical, whether it is food, whether it is too much sun, it doesn't matter what it is. Whatever you are adding to your body that takes the cells away from their happy space, you got to live your life. And if we're all trying to live as long as we possibly can, but we have to eliminate all these things that take us away from the people that we love most, it's not worth it. So do what you can in order to maintain and service the vehicle, because if you take care of the vehicle, then the vehicle on the inside will continue to run itself the way it's supposed to. And that is what gives us the ability to continue to be mobile. And again, movement is medicine, motion is lotion. So the more we move, the better off we're going to feel. We can move too much with a heart rate too high. So you've got to be careful doing too much exercise, because when I say movement is medicine, we want to make sure that we're not getting too high cardiovascular exercise. If you do more than 30 minutes of cardiovascular exercise over that 78 to 80% max heart rate, more than 30 minutes at a time, it actually generates more inflammation, more inflammatory hormones. So too much exercise is actually not good for you. But walking is one of the fastest ways to regulate hormones and to teach the body to keep going, because every time we make contact with the ground, we feel a vibration that works up through us. Some of you are not able to experience the vibration because of limitation or because you're on doctor's restrictions. And some of you might have been developing osteoporosis, but it's actually the vibration that heals osteoporosis and regenerates more bone tissue. So being on the rebounders in order to get those muscles pumping, in order to get the lymph moving, the vibration plate, if you're on it, even if your feet are on it and you're sitting with your butt in a chair, it's okay. It's better than nothing at all. So, and then last but not least, we have to make sure the number one thing that we got to do is we have to flush with fluids. We got to drink. So make sure that you are drinking plenty of water, which ideally is going to be half of your body weight in ounces. So if you are, 140 pounds, you want to be flushing 70 ounces of water minimum a day of clear fluids. So thanks so much for sharing your time with me. And again, if you love what you see here, then definitely make sure and refollow. If you go to YouTube, here in the next week or so, we'll be uploading that to YouTube, and they usually categorize it out and break it down by timestamp. So if there's one part of this video that you just absolutely loved, don't hesitate to mark that in the comments and just fast forward to that so you can get the information that you need. If you missed the other couple of episodes, I cover the big six with Dr. Perry Nicholson on great detail earlier in the week. And then last week I covered the secret stressors that influence your nervous system and cause more toxic flow. So there are a lot of secret stressors that we're not even aware of that are wreaking havoc on our body and keeping us from being able to live our best life. I covered that. Also covered the different organs and their function for detoxing and for optimal lymphatic system regulation. And then the first episode that I covered is how the body gives you signs and signals. These are the 9 signs and signals that your body needs a detox. And this is why it is associated with pain. So if you are experiencing an autoimmune problem, or if you are suffering of pain, or if you are feeling sluggish, or you're a little on the stinky side, and there's all different kinds of things that tell us that we need to give our body more of what it really needs instead of what we really want. And just remember, with every choice that you make, you get a reward and you get a consequence. One is immediate, one is delayed. The one that's immediate is, it is what it is. The one that is delayed is usually compounded. So as much as we don't want to do some of this stuff because it's just tiresome, it takes more time, we have to spend more money at times, and we got to really plug it into the schedule. The consequence is, if you do it now, then that's typically like, oh, I got to do this. I got to go vibe, and then I got to go bounce, and I'd rather be watching TV or hanging out with my family, or I'd rather be going on a walk, or I'd rather be going to work, or I'd rather be folding laundry, or whatever. The reward is delayed. You get more time, or you just get to feel better. You get to go to bed and you get to sleep through the night. You get to wake up feeling refreshed. You tend to be happier, more positive energy, freedom of mind, no foggy thinking, no issues with memory. You're not waking up congested. You don't have phlegm in your throat or on your tongue. I like to say you're kissable because you don't have naturally stinky bad breath. You don't have to make sure you got chewing gum or mouthwash in order to be able to experience a kiss. You get to experience hugs because hugs feel really good, and we all need like 20 hugs a day. I love giving out hugs. So keep doing whatever you can be doing to maximize your 24 hours a day so that you can wake up and have another 24 hours a day, because that is the one thing that we all have in common, is we all have that 24 hours a day until we don't. And when we get that diagnosis, or when we end up in that accident or in that traumatic situation, then we are begging for another 24 hours. So start working on maximizing your body's environment now so that you're not begging for it tomorrow. And on that note, I'll look forward to seeing you all again in our next video. If you have questions, or if there's information that you'd like to hear from us at Lifepro, please don't hesitate to mark it in the comment section, because we are always screening through and reading all your comments and trying to answer where we can, especially in our Facebook VIP group. If you're not already part of that Facebook VIP group, make sure that you head over there and join, because it is an amazing community, And I started that community with Joel back in 2018, 2019. And Debbie and Roseanne and I are experts in our fields. Debbie is the guru. She is the absolute mechanical guru, information expert on vibration plates, infrared and red light therapy, EMF, all those different electrical type devices that carry, phototherapy, wavelengths, frequencies, G-force. She is the guru of that. She's been doing it well over 30 years, and she is the one who teaches a lot of doctors how to understand this different technology, which has been around since earlier than the 1950s, and it goes all the way back to the 1800s in the most simplistic type of ways. And then when it comes to Roseanne, she really specializes in yoga and Pilates, and I am the medical expert specializing in pain and mental health and sports medicine, how the body restores itself, and the fascia, connective tissue, hormones, just the nervous system. That's kind of my niche. And if you need that discount code, just type in Amber20 if you want to try that one. And if you already have one from Roseanne or Debbie, we all kind of have the same discounts that we offer. And then Joel is always emailing out different discount codes if you're needing it. So the holidays are coming, so don't delay on getting some of these little gadgets. The dry brush you're going to find on Amazon. Just go on Amazon and type in natural bristle dry brush. And this is Queen of the Thrones organic castor oil that's cold pressed. And these are castor oil patches for the belly button. And I think those are all the main things. Those are everything else we sell on Lifepro and through Amazon through our Lifepro store. So thank you again so much for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you again soon.